Hi there. Change can be scary, disheartening, discouraging, but with the right approach, you can turn it into an opportunity. Today, we're going to dive into a topic that's very crucial for personal and professional growth: how to successfully navigate change in 3 steps. I am Coach Soul. Welcome to our Performance Edge Weekly Wisdom. So let's face it, when change or transformation goes our way, or the way we intended or expected it, there's no fear associated. And for the most part, it's progress. And we get even happiness as you progress. But the real challenge happens when we face changes that are different than what we had anticipated. So I'm going to share with you here 3 high level about the anatomy of change that will equip you to understand change. And most importantly, it will allow you to successfully navigate change with more precise power moving forward. So in the first part, I'll quickly share with you the natural response that signals to you that it's time to brace for change. And which light is like a red light, road sign. If you learn to pay attention to it more often, it will make the rest of the process easier. And in the second step, which is a powerful word that will free you and open the world for bigger opportunity. It's one word. It's acceptance. And in the third step, the work in the change is alignment, which takes you on a new height that your spirit has been wanting and longing for. You ready? Let's jump in. So in the first part, it is important to point out the natural responses that occurs as anatomy of change. The reason most of the time change gets scary is because of the unknown. Specifically, I want to zoom in and I want you to just look at what I'm going to share. Basically, there is an event happening, person or an external event that disrupts what you know. And here, what I mean by what you know is simply an image or an expectation of what you had imagined to be the norm, to be the standard. What you know is an image of how you saw yourself or how you had imagined things will be or could be. So fear arises because the reality manifested and experienced does not match with the image you've already had. So that's what causes conflict and stress. I really hope you can zoom in and see this. So it's an upheld image that's in contradiction, not matching your reality. So it's from that conflict where survival is born from, because the identity you hold from the image wants to preserve itself. So your unconscious is not recognizing what it had already conceived and want to cling to that old image. In that way, now, like a road sign, when you feel like a knee-jerk reaction and resistance, you need to stop for a second and realize that you are on your way to change. Most importantly, it's a yellow sign, beep, 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 for spiritual growth. And I don't have a whole time to discuss all the aspects of that spiritual growth here. But what's important to understand is that resistance is part of growth and it's naturally built into growth. We've all heard a version of the idea of a Chinese term, Wei Ji, right, which is often discussed in the context of crisis and opportunity. The term is composed of 2 characters, Wei, which kind of means danger or crisis, and Ji, which means opportunity or crucial point. And the simple example I like to quote is that problems are for the spirit what weight dumbbell are for your bicep. In other words, without resistance, there is no growth. You can see it at many levels. Right here, I'm in a forest, but you can think about it. A coconut tree needs the wind to blow so it can strengthen its roots in the ground and grow taller and stronger. Now, this is an important step to be aware of because that leads us to the second step, right? And unfortunately, a lot of people get stuck in step 1, in that resistance phase, or spend too much time in this reaction and resistance step. So I want to emphasize that here because like anything in nature, like where I'm here, there is a need for balance. So you cannot hold like a dumbbell forever or your muscle will break. So the stage of resistance cannot be perpetual, which is why the second stage, you need to be cognizant. Why? And that second stage is accept. Because why acceptance? Because you understand that change is inevitable and that it is your resistance to it that causes often stress. So the first step is to acknowledge the change and understand that it's part of life. Instead of focusing on what is lost, think about what can be gained. This mental shift set the foundation for handling change effectively. Right there, that's your leverage. That's a fulcrum. And then take a deep breath and you remind yourself that change brings new opportunity, and you can write down the feelings to process them better and focus on the potential positive. That step will lead you into adaptation. Once you accepted the change, it's time to adapt because this involves being flexible and open to new learning and to new things. So you embrace that reality. In concrete terms, it could mean acquiring, for example, the necessary skills and knowledge. Or this might mean taking a different course or takes advice or coaching from others, or simply practicing patience. And as you get accustomed to new routines. So adapting could take time. Be patient with yourself and celebrate small wins small victories along the way. Every step forward is a progress. And with that, it will lead us to our third step, which is alignment. And this is my favorite part because it's a bridge between adapting and action. Because with acceptance and adaptation in place, it's time to take proactive steps. So you set clear, achievable goal, make a plan to reach them. Take consistent, small actions toward that goal. And this is not the only step to help you navigate the change, but it also empowers you to take control of your future. And so alignment is optimized when you adhere to a knowing that your path to growth is in service to something bigger than yourself. Yes, your path to growth is to something bigger than yourself. And how do you know that? Because everything in nature serves a purpose. And if it doesn't, it ceases to exist. So this is why I passionately shared in my previous video that the masters of this all are understood one thing, on how to tap into that third knowing that the Homo triple sapiens had learned to master. That third knowing stands for, I know more than I know that I know. I know more than I know that I know. And that's what differentiates the masters of this world from people that keep struggling over and over again. And I would like to add more on this, but you can watch the earlier video that I talked about on the Homo sapiens, the power of Homo, superpower of Homo triple sapiens. So to recap, navigating changes successfully involves those three steps. The first step is going to be a reaction, and you'll have resistance because the image you're holding not matching the reality you experience. The second step will be acceptance and adaptation, to accept the change, to adapt that to that learning and being flexible. And the first step is alignment and taking that action on a consistent basis, consistent toward the goal. That's your alignment. And that's anatomy of change. So by following these three steps, you can turn change into stepping stone for growth. And I hope this serves you today and that you can use those performance wisdom nuggets. And if you want to continue this conversation with me, please sign up to Performance Edge Wisdom Community. And the link is below, and you will get access to more tips and relevant answers to your real problems. Or if you have any specific issue you want me to talk about, you can submit them in the comments or request a specific video on www.quantumdo.com, thequantumdo.com/video. Or if you want to be confidential and you need a non-disclosure agreement, please send an email to support@thequantumdo.com. And if this helped you, please share and forward it to someone you think might benefit so we can subscribe. And so do not forget, till next time, failure is a necessary prerequisite to human excellence. Till next time, live your truth. Coach Soul out.